I'm not rooting for one team or the other. I just want a good match.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Okay, so they're going on the outside. It looks like Hattori is swapping heroes. They saw the Zarya. Interesting. Okay. They saw the Zarya cast and decided that Sigma was the answer. We have a Bastion going on the outside. And they just totally ignored the Cat Bastion and then went for everyone else. And now they can just go out here and free farm. Okay, so Hattori makes another swap. I kind of like this better. I feel like the Sigma... I mean, these players know something that I don't know when it comes to these comps most of the time, but I felt like the Sigma just really wasn't the right choice. Our Bastion is not connected to the Cat over here. Point is being forced by Lich. Sniper's low. And Jutsu's just sitting up here. They're hard pinging the Bastion, but he's just stayed out of line of sight. Juno does get a kill with the Kiri. They opted to use the rush here. Lich gets booped off the map. Grapes gets a second kill. Let's see how they're gonna try to get up there. The Reaper, the bubble, has to get out. That's kind of scary. Ooh, dead.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Alright, Ryan ends up with that kill, but Grape's kind of been on fire so far this map.
Thanks.
A lot of ults coming up here. I expect both grabs to come out in this fight. As long as they play slow. They gotta play slow. Lucio does get a pick. He doesn't get the TP off. Oh no. Grab. There it is. They grabbed in the rush, so they really did not get the value that they probably wanted out of that grab. Jutsu ends up getting a ton of kills while in that Kitsune rush. And now, Kintsugi are up on ults. I wonder if Ryan's gonna try to make his way up top again. They don't really have a way of dealing with them up there. There's the grab. Trades. They swung Jutsu out to get a better angle. Still very back and forth here. Oh no! He got booped, but he got saved! Kiwi with the crazy save. Oh, Liches. Oh! The bubble! He still dies, but he gets one. He's just still raining down on them from above here. That is a very dead Reaper. Alright, it is a 3v3 right now. But they can't really do anything without getting Jutsu off that high ground. It's just a really, really solid positioning. They need to bubble the Reaper. Wait for this Reaper to get back. They need to bubble the Reaper. Reaper needs to go up top. Or just kill Lich. That works too. Are they just, they're just like, okay, we'll just ignore them. I guess they just opted to ignore. They're like, okay, let's kill everyone else first. Deal with these guys later. And it worked. A lot of scrappy fights though in this. A lot of scrappy fights.
Ready for battle.
Now this is a Cat Bastion map. We're probably gonna see 2 Cat Bastions on the outside.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
So Hitori opted for the Zarya again, and Sniper went with the Diva. I do think Diva's a little bit better for this map, but that bubble that they just got was actually clutch. Hitori just gave Jutsu a fight-winning bubble just then. Goes in, gets a kill. Tori as well. I mean, they're playing this really smart because they're playing inside the point. They're forcing them to have to come inside the point, and Hitori can just bubble Lich, bubble the Bastion, and it's really hard for them to get the value that they want. Alright, let's see where these bubbles go from Hitori. See Lich wrapping around the back. Okay, one is a self bubble. They let them flip for free. Not a huge fan of that. 2K with the Bastion ult. Also, something is up with the Bastion ult, by the way. It's really, really scuffed when I spectate it. I might just have to watch someone else's POV for that. Oh no. He gets 2. He gets a mid-air nade. Alright. They've won enough that they can recontest. Sniper gets the mech back. This is gonna flip the point. The Kitsune rush is too strong. Oh, there's a cat battle. Cat battle? Oh, Bastion came in. Decided no, you're not allowed to have a cat 1v1. They safely fly Jutsu out. This is a very, very back and forth map so far. Honestly though, like Kintsugi has pretty much won this map, but unfortunately they decided to let them flip for free, and so they lost all that percentage. Grab? We do not grab. Oh no, couldn't get it. Tried to pull the Diva off the map, but died in the process. Looks like Grape's gonna go pick up the Kiri. Hitori still has this grab. I want to see a grab blossom combo here. Oh, Hitori is just gonna die. It's over. This map is over. No touch. Alright, Extinction takes map 1.
Play of the game.
such a good rush. Jutsu just murdered everyone. Alright, now... Next map, Rialto. Is it real? Is it Rialto? It looks like it's real. I'm just paranoid now since in the last match the next map was wrong. Banning Diva. It's a Kintsugi ban. They banned Diva. Let's see what the second one is. It kind of seems like they want to play the Cat Bastion. Alright, we'll have to wait to see the ban when the match gets loaded. Two minutes. Yeah, I was talking about how Ryan really heavily relied on the Tracer in their last match. I like the swap up to the Reaper. When they were playing Reaper Cast, Reaper Bastion, it seemed to really work for them. I am curious to see what they ended up banning. Because we had a Diva ban. So... Hey, this map is okay for Cat Bastion. This is taking a while to finalize. Also, I just want to say I really appreciate you guys chilling with me. It does look like they do ban the Jetpack Cat. It's kind of what I was thinking was going to happen, but I didn't want to go out and say it. Didn't want to be wrong. But yeah, as I was saying, I really appreciate you guys watching, being here, supporting these teams, these players.
Initiating match.
It's very important to me, very important to them, and they deserve the recognition. Wanted. Sigma. Interesting. You know what? I gotta come out and say it. I can't remember the last time Sigma was played on this map. It could have been played during Champions Clash and I missed it, but I don't think it was. So for me personally, I can't remember the last time Sigma was played on this map.
4, 3, 2, 1. Escort the payload.
What were they looking for there? I guess they were looking for if they had a flyer or something. Juno goes Ana. Is Jutsu staying on this character? No, I don't think so. Wait, he is? Jutsu! Alright, we're gonna get the flank. We gotta stick on this. This is such an interesting composition.
Let's keep it moving.
Oh, hits the headshot. In danger. Oh, they just managed to get out. Alright, Jutsu's back on this angle. They're kind of forcing them into a very specific position here with this. Tori unfortunately goes down.
Come on, team. Push the payload.
Sniper is just on sniper duty. Haha. Haha. I'm so funny. Alright, Jutsu did make the swap off the Widow, so we're on to the Sojourn now. Ryan decides to get out of there. We are still on this Pharah though. And they're being very sneaky. Not so sneaky anymore. Oh, that is scary. PDK doesn't chase. Lich is doing a pretty good job just hovering over here. PDK's coming in. He's not gonna duel that, just decided to go for the back. Sniper eats the sun. Huge eat. And I think as far as still in the back. Nano comes on to Tori. Should get two here. As long as they don't take too much damage in this rage. Sniper's still getting kills though. Sniper misses in the flux. Goes for the rock on Hattori, but hits the Ana instead. Alright. We gotta do something with this Pharah soon. Dying was not the thing that I had in mind. PDK being a laser. PDK with 3. I think he's listening for the Pharah.
30 seconds remaining.
I think he's listening for the Pharah. Yep. Oh my god, PDK is farming. Kiwi's behind. Kiwi's gonna go and try and get the touch. Ryan's gonna find. Ryan says, fuck you, get a Death Blossom. Oh my god. They do get the touch. Jutsu with Overclock. Lich does get one with a barrage, but C9. I mean, it's kind of a C9. There was 3 players alive. So they could have touched. But they were going to lose the fight regardless. They were so low and just in bad position. That is such a close hold. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of those maps where the payload like really gets held on this point. It always gets held like here or just around the corner over here. Like, these are some of, like, the most, like, right here, these are some of the most, like,
Ready for
held places on this map. I can't tell you how many tournaments have ended on that corner over there. How many matches have ended on that corner. But look at, they don't have that far to go. Like, normally it ends up, like, over here somewhere, but they could just keep forcing the payload and force it into a one-fight situation. I was really impressed with the Sigma from Sniper. Sniper had all of the answers to what Hattori wanted to do on this map.
escort the payload.
Ryan rolling out on the Widow. Alright, yep, he's swapping. Back to Reaper. I see Lich is also doing some sneaky stuff. PDK got found over here. The payload is already, like, almost to the point. It's over. It's over. Two-0 Extinction.
Victory.
Yeah. That map, definitely. I don't know. It's really tough to analyze that because it just kind of felt like nothing happened, but everything happened. PDK was hitting all of his shots. Then we have Lich off in Narnia without any real help, and so he couldn't really do much of what he wanted to do. I understand, you know, maybe having him as like a distraction or something, but you know, and we have seen it in like OWCS Korea. We have seen the Pharah work on that first point, but the difference between his Pharah and the Pharahs that we've seen in Korea is they normally have a mercy pocket. So I don't know if the Jetpack Cat ban put like a wrench in their plan, or they really just didn't want to play that mercy. But they might also not have expected a Sigma on the other side. I know I wouldn't have. But yeah, I think you don't have to do it 100% of the time, but most of the time we have seen those successful pushes with the Pharah on the first point. It is with a mercy pocket, and I think that would have really helped allowed Lich to kind of get in there more. Because he had to play scared the entire time. There was nothing he could do. There was no synergy or going in with like Hattori or anything. Like, it was just poking, being slightly annoying, and the team mostly ignoring it. Alright, let's see. What we got coming up next. We got Atlas with Lucio. I wonder if we're going to see Hattori play Ball or Hazard here. I know she likes to play those two heroes on this map. Banning Lucio is interesting. Like, when you pick Atlas, I think you kind of just opt to not play Cat Bastion, because most of the points, especially the first point, is not good for Cat Bastion. So by picking the map, you're like banning Cat Bastion, and then by banning the Lucio, you're kind of just forcing them to play like a Juno Brig kind of composition or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the other ban ended up being. Hattori has historically done some really insane things on this map, so I'm hoping that we get the Wrecking Ball pick. Maybe not the first point. First point isn't that great for Ball in my opinion. Maybe we can start with a Hazard and then go Wrecking Ball, but I'd love to see Hattori dominate on a specific hero for this map. So far, like, the biggest, like, difference I'm seeing right now is just level of synergy. It just really feels like things are a little bit disconnected on the side of Kintsugi. We'll see if they can bring it back. We'll see if they can bring it back. I really want to see what they banned. I wonder if they're going to ban out one of Hattori's tanks. Or if they're going to opt for something like a... I don't think they want to ban Cassidy because PDK's been popping off on it. A Reaper ban could be interesting. They ban out Lucio, so you're probably not going to be playing Zarya. But then again, they played Zarya without Lucio in the first map, so... What do I even know anymore? Before I was told you can't play Ram or Zarya without Lucio, and we're seeing it all the time now, so... I'm curious to see what they end up banning. Bastion. Okay. I felt like the map itself banned Bastion, but I guess they really want to reinforce that. Lucio Bastion. By the way, I think on low settings, the Froggy in this area over here. Sorry, I'm flying to the wrong area. The Froggy in this area over here, only one of them shows up. Where was this Extinction yesterday? Well, they're playing a different team. They are playing really strong. Do any of the frogs show up? Yeah, just the one. One of the biggest difference between Extinction yesterday and Extinction today is they're not trying to force Riot on the Tracer. That was something that they were doing very heavily yesterday, and it just wasn't getting the value. As good as Ryan Tracer is, compositionally, it just wasn't getting the value that they wanted. Okay, so they are not going to do Juno Brig. They are playing Fuyang. This time it's his Tori on the Sigma. Tori says, I will take a page out of the Sigma book. We have Lich on a flank over here. Not much of a flank when PDK is staring right at you. Okay, so Ryan is back on the Tracer. I do think that Tracer is really good for this first point. But Reaper is also really good for this first point. The Tracer just has a good ability to force the point and get into places. Hattori with the first pick. Ryan is being a pest back here. Oh, misses the melee. Jutsu with 2. Get a third. D-Mech. Misses those shots, but he was trying to be safe. I think another reason why they're playing Tracer here is like the Wu Yang ult is actually just like so strong with Tracer. I want to see this ult come out. So they can just force the point with this D.Va Tracer composition.
Catch me if you can. Much better. Reverse the time.
The ult. Suzu, perfectly timed Suzu. He uses ult very, very quickly here. Nice Suzu. Ryan gets pulse bomb. PDK with 2. Can we get a third? Oh, okay. Juno says no. Remember at the beginning of the match, I was like, Juno's crazy with those headshots? Juno's still crazy with those headshots. Alright, we're gonna take point 1.
Hello.
That was a very close round.
Flashpoint. Bazaar.
Alright, we have Flux. I wonder if we'll see the Flux into the reroll. PDK does make the swap to Sojourn. Juno again. If you ever want to learn how to be a bloodthirsty Kiriko player, you got decent aim, watch Juno.
The enemy outnumbers us.
Ryan gets 2 in the meantime. I think Ryan's trying to be a nuisance in the back here. He does have a pulse bomb. Oh, the Suzu, I mean, they were trying to save the Suzu for the pulse bomb. They knew it was coming. But they had to Suzu Hattori, and unfortunately the pulse bomb exploded just after the Suzu. So Juno played that well. It was just kind of a situation where damned if you do, damned if you don't. Lich with an early kill on the grapes. Tori needs to live here. Tori needs to live there. No way. Okay, they do get the flip, but they're still going in. Ryan is still fighting. Tori got a nice rock there. Okay, Ryan is just like farming. Like you watch Hattori get deleted. That's Ryan just farming. Jesus. Alright, Kiwi's been holding on to this ultimate for a bit. Hattori made the swap to D.Va. And I know that we're playing Mizuki to counter D.Va right now, but I haven't really seen this Mizuki like do too much. These maps are just so kind of spread apart, so. Nice Suzu. Zuki ult there. Unfortunately, a little too late for Jutsu. And they were not ready for PDK to have that shot.
Good to see you.
They were not ready for that.
Hello. Hey.
Nothing like flying the diva around. They're on Symmetra now. Probably help with the diva a bit. Rush should come out. See if Grapes cat naps anybody. There's some nice looking edges over there for the cat nap. Goodbye. That's all. That's so silly. Guys, this might be it. Alright. That's it, guys. Extinction with a very clean 3-0. That was... They had no problems dealing with Kintsugi.
Ravage them.
Very well played.
Reverse the tide.
Oh, is this where Grapes died? Oh, this was... Grapes died the next fight. That was a big Grapes play there. But yeah, I mean... Obviously, DSG is a different team, but like the synergy for Extinction was definitely here today. And they looked clean. Ryan went crazy on Tracer. They had no answer for that. When he finally was playing Reaper in the other maps, it looked really good. They really cleaned up some of the stuff that I wanted them to fix from yesterday. So, GG's Extinction. Back to face it with Kintsugi. You know, they were a team that was pretty strong, like all through face it. I know they lost to EXO a couple times, but then they pulled it back, made it to the top. So I'm hoping that they stick together because they definitely have a lot of potential. I think they just need to work out some kinks. Work out a few kinks, and you know, it's also very well could not be their meta. It's really hard to say. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.